that I've read recently and share with you all what books I'm going to read next. So, this is probably my novel collection for this year. There were other novels I had, but these are the ones I'm planning to read. There are mostly two categories of book that I read. It's either the typical fiction books or either I read the self-help books. That's the two type. So yeah, I haven't started on any thriller or any type of those books, but I'm definitely planning on start on them. So let me just quickly grab in all the books that I've read recently to quickly review for you guys. Are the three books that I've read recently. So the other two you all know, it's like all over the internet, the TikTok book, the Instagram book. Like I literally read it because of that, because it's so hyped. Like both the It Ends With Us and Starts With Us by Colin Hoover. It's like so much hyped all over the internet. I saw all my friends were reading, so I was like, you know what? I also wanted. I want to check it out. And this one is a book I actually didn't purchase. Technically, this is a book I got from my home because like there were too many books out there lying, so I just found this and I read the title Goosebumps, and I was dying to read one Goosebumps series. And this is one of those books which you cannot put down. It's like the How to Kill a Monster by Goosebumps. It's a horror story, kind of thriller. Sorry, yeah, it's kind of thriller, but awesome story. Like I literally read the entire book in like 1 hour, I guess. I was literally so much into reading this, and this was the first book I read this year and totally unexpected. And I loved this book. It's like about a monster, as you can see, and it's like there are those children who are living in their grandparents' house. And I would rate this book 9 on 10. And will I recommend this? Of course, to everyone out there who don't like to read self-help book, want to read some good fiction and some like entertaining book, this one's awesome. It's really good. It's a horror book, but it's awesome. Now coming on to our main hype, It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us by Colin Hoover. Now let me first speak about It Ends With Us. Now, as I told you, this book literally has so many different stories like attached to it, like for my life, because many of my friends were reading. Even we use it as a reference point while speaking about someone. We always refer to the real characters of this book. Like while speaking, we are like, you know what Lily did, we should not do that, and that's like that. So this book is really connected to me, I'd say, because like almost everyone in my friend circle read it. I have people whom I can relate with this book. And this book was the second book I read this year. And I remember I was coming from a trip. I completed this book in my trip. It's an awesome book. Again, those of the books which you cannot put down once you start. Awesome. I finished it within 4 or 5 days on a maximum. Like it was that good book. To be honest, it's heavenly romantic when it starts. Like it's about good story. It's slightly motivational in the beginning, but honestly, I'm giving you spoilers about that. But honestly, towards the end is kind of like emotional roller coaster. So I definitely say that if you are a soft-hearted person, you should not read this because I cried. Yeah, I cried after reading the end, but definitely it has a lot to learn from, like the way the Lily, like the main character, she showed her bravery and decided to leave the abusive household. Like mostly it's hyped in TikTok and everywhere that it's really romantic, but that's not the case. Even by seeing the paper, like the cover page, I also thought it would be really romantic, but at the same time it was really emotional. It was heartbreaking, and it was like a really, like, what do you call it, emotional roller coaster, I would say. Like this was a good book, but then the ending was slightly emotional, and I would literally sell my soul to read it for the first time again. Like it's that type of book, the vibe that I got when I read it for the first time. Will I ever reread it? Well, no, because I already know the story. It's all like this book is all about the plot twist at the end, the climax. So I don't think I'm going to read it again. So Yeah. Talking about the rating, I would give this book 8.5 on 10. It was good. It was awesome. It will always remain one of my most favorite books. So yeah. Now coming on to It Starts With Us. Honestly, this was just a extended epilogue of It Ends With Us. Again, I definitely say Colin Hoover books are the ones which you, if you pick up, you're never gonna keep it until it's done. Again, I read this book within a week or so. So yeah, this was another good book. It's about, like, it's definitely a romantic book, and it's the continuation of the last story. Here the heroine is trying to cope up with her life and try to stay happy and stuff. Like, it's like a happy ending at the end, so it's funny at times. Yeah, like there's this dialogue where a character of the story says to the hero to ask the heroine by saying, Lily, will you be my little fish? So yeah, it's really funny at times, but definitely it's a good book. Like, here are literally my favorite parts. You can screenshot if you want to read just the good parts. And it's definitely a good book. Will definitely recommend to people to read it. Um, After It Ends With Us. Will I say it's life changing? Well, no. It Ends With Us is definitely something that can help you change your mentality, grow up your maturity, but this has nothing to do with that. You can still, like, live after reading this. It's not something that you have to read this, okay? This book I would like to give a 7 on 10 because there is no climax, no plot twists. It's just a simple happy ending love story. So I personally like It Ends With Us more than It Starts With Us. So these are the three books I've read this year till now, and now